The music industry is no stranger to controversy. Yet the allegations against Sean Diddy Combs have sent shockwaves through the entertainment world. At the heart of the case are a series of videos, dubbed freak-off videos, that have become key pieces of evidence. Prosecutors allege these videos depict Diddy engaging in sexual acts with women, some of whom they claim were coerced and exploited. Diddy, however, maintains his innocence, asserting that the videos show consensual encounters between adults. The case has sparked a firestorm of debate, raising questions about power, consent, and the blurred lines between public persona and private actions. These aren't just salacious rumors. Diddy faces serious charges including sex trafficking by force, transportation for prostitution, and racketeering conspiracy. The accusations paint a dark picture, alleging a pattern of abuse dating back to 2008. If convicted, Diddy could face decades in prison. The stakes couldn't be higher. The prosecution argues that these freak-off videos are not simply recordings of consensual adult activities. They claim the videos are evidence of a much more sinister operation. Women, they allege, were drugged, kidnapped, and forced into participating in these videos against their will. This case is far from over. It's a tangled web of accusations, defenses, and video evidence that will take time to unravel. The world is watching, waiting to see if Diddy will be held accountable or if he will be exonerated. One thing is certain, this scandal has left an indelible mark on Diddy's legacy. Diddy's defense team, however, is building a case around the argument of consent. They argue that the women in the videos were willing participants in these encounters. The defense claims that the videos themselves will prove their client's innocence, showing that the interactions were consensual and that the women involved were not coerced. They point to Diddy's long-term relationship with one of the women, Cassie Ventura, as further evidence that these were not random acts of abuse but rather part of a complex personal dynamic. The defense is not shying away from the explicit nature of the videos. Instead, they are leaning into them, arguing that they tell a different story than the one the prosecution is presenting. They are asking the jury to look beyond the salacious headlines and judge the case based on the evidence presented in court. The defense's strategy is a risky one. They are putting their faith in the jury's ability to separate Diddy's celebrity persona from the man himself. They are betting that the jury will see the videos not as proof of abuse, but as evidence of consensual acts between adults. It's a high-stakes gamble, and only time will tell if it will pay off. The prosecution's case rests heavily on the testimony of the alleged victims. One of the most vocal accusers is Cassie Ventura, Diddy's ex-girlfriend. Ventura filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy, alleging years of physical abuse and manipulation. She describes the freak-off videos as traumatic experiences, claiming she was coerced into participating while under the influence of drugs and alcohol. Ventura's accusations are chilling. She paints a picture of a man who used his power and influence to control and manipulate the women around him. Her testimony, if the jury finds it credible, could be incredibly damaging to Diddy's defense. The prosecution is not solely relying on Ventura's testimony. They are also presenting evidence of a wider pattern of abuse, alleging that Diddy was involved in a criminal enterprise that exploited numerous women. They are building a case that portrays Diddy as a predator who used his wealth and status to prey on vulnerable women. The prosecution's case is a serious one, and the allegations against Diddy are grave. If they can convince the jury of his guilt, Diddy could be facing a very different future. Throughout this ordeal, Diddy has maintained his innocence. He has denied all allegations against him, stating that he is a victim of false accusations and extortion attempts. He is pleading not guilty to all charges, and has vowed to fight for his freedom. Diddy's plea of innocence sets the stage for a contentious legal battle. The prosecution and defense will present their cases, each side trying to convince the jury of their version of events. The outcome of this case is far from certain. The evidence is complex and the accusations are serious. Diddy's fate rests in the hands of the jury, who must decide whether they believe the prosecution's claims of coercion and abuse, or the defense's argument of consent. The freak-off videos are at the center of this legal storm. They are the key pieces of evidence that could either incriminate or exonerate Diddy. The world is watching, waiting to see what the jury will decide, and what impact this case will have on the music industry and beyond.